Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating in my studio. Every day I share a video with you on YouTube in which I paint and create all sorts of nature-inspired pictures. I also share loads of tips on how to make the most of your painting journey, interrupted fairly frequently by our family of dogs, cats, chickens and sheep. So welcome on board. Click subscribe and turn on notifications and let's learn to paint watercolour. Today I'm going to paint a hare. They're a kind of late summer, autumn kind of iconic figure, and I have already traced or drawn and traced my sketch here from another one that I had done before. And today the colours I'm going to be using is going to be a colourful hare. So I've got 7 different colours here that I'm going to incorporate into this painting, I hope, which are cobalt blue, olive green, sepia, burnt sienna, quinacridone gold, Windsor violet and alizarin crimson. And I've got my water brush here, and I've also got 3 brushes that I'm going to be using. I've got the number 8 round from ZEN Art, their black tulip, and also the rigger, number 2 rigger from their set. Information about that's in the description below. And I've also got my number 7 DRAWELL brush, which is slightly smaller than the ZEN Art one. And of course I've got my other larger one here, this quite nice number 14 DRAWELL brush, which I might also use as well. And as well as that, got a piece of Etival paper, Clairefontaine Etival 100% cellulose, 140-pound watercolour paper, which is a good thick paper, nice and sturdy, stands up to all the trials and tribulations of the average beginner with not too much fuss. And I've taped it down with some washi tape. I've got my old piece of towel here to wipe my brushes off on. I've got my test swatch here for my colours as I go along. The one thing I have forgotten is my palette to mix my colours on, so I've just got a nice ceramic plate there which I try colours out on before I commit myself. So let's get started. And the first thing that, and I have a large container of clean water, relatively clean water, just there. First thing I always do when I'm doing a hare is I put some colour in for the eye. And I'm going to do that with, going to use some burnt sienna for the brown part of his eye. And once that's dry, and that goes here, once that's dry, I'll put some black in as well, but we'll just put that little bit in first. And then I'm going to put in some, I forgot to mention I needed black. Of course I need black. I don't need very much of it though. Just a little bit of black for the markings on his nose, and we'll do that first. So we just drop something in there like that, and then the division goes down like this. Okay, and then around his eye there's also some quite significant darkness here, so we'll just put that in, and that doesn't matter if that bleeds a little bit, that's fine. Bring that down there. And up here near to the brown, we can let that bleed because that looks more natural. And then a little bit round here, but I won't put the actual pupil in just yet. Wait for the brown to dry. Now this is going to be, I think I'm going to do this wet in wet. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with the ears, and we'll just drop some water in there. And then I'm going to come in with a slightly smaller brush. Just wondering what to do. I think I might let's use the ZEN brush, shall we, just for the heck of it. And I'm going to put some blue up here, and nice and loose. We'll just let that wet, just spread like that. Let it bleed, do whatever it wants. I'll put a little bit more over this side on this ear. And then at the tip, where the hair has the iconic dark tip to the top there, we're going to put some purple. And then I might also come in with a little bit of black there too, just to make that really dark. And the thing to do is not to, don't even think about painting within the line. So put a little bit more purple down here perhaps. And then there's some contrast. I'm going to be brave and just pop in some quinacridone gold there, like that. And then a bit down here on his forehead. And we'll let that bleed a bit. And then I'm just going to drag the colour down here a bit. And it's gone kind of green, but that doesn't matter. We'll bring that down near to the nose too. And I'm going to put in some more blue. I'll stick with the same blue because if you change blues, it's going to be a bit unhappy. So we'll do that, and then we'll put some purple here. Don't be afraid to wash your brush out between strokes. With this style, you really need to keep the brush really clean. And put a little bit more of this here, a little bit more quinacridone there. And the last thing you want to do, you just don't want to do it, is to go back in and touch anything. You're going to have to trust the paint. You can see I'm painting with the very tip of this brush here. It's got a nice point. Just drag that down a little bit. Yeah, this Zen brush has got a nice point, which is great. And then I'm going to put, just for the sake of variety, a little bit of red in there and a little bit of green. And then I'm going to be courageous and just come in with the quinacridone gold on his chest there, and then so that we can have some shadow underneath his jaw, some black, and maybe a little bit around this side too, which will bleed. We join that up so that it can all run. And then I think the best thing to do here is to just drag that down a little bit. We might pop in a few splashes. Maybe a bit more yellow on this side, maybe a bit of blue, a bit more yellow perhaps. And then I'm going to, I think I'm probably going to just wet the area back here. Try not to touch too much. And then I'm going to put some blue into the background and just let that run. And I'm just going to join that up, and a tiny bit of blue in here. Let's join that up around there. And now we might be able to come in with black for the center of the eye. And we'll try okay, I'm not going to do any more to that at the moment. And so yes, looking okay. Just going to touch against there a little bit so that will bleed a bit, and I might put some spatter here. A little bit more blue here maybe. And then we'll just bring that down closer to the eye too. And let that blend. Okay, we're going to get some nice backgrounds and cauliflowers here, which will give us some texture, but maybe just to make it a little bit more textury, you might just pop a little bit of salt in there, just in the background. It looks like we're going to get some quite nice bleeds there. So there we are. I'll leave that for the minute. We'll let that dry and come back soon and see what else needs to be done. I think he'll need his whiskers, probably needs some darkening up around the ears and so on and so forth. But so far so good. So the painting's completely dry now, and all that remains is to just scratch off the little bit of salt that I put on there with a sharp object like the back of a credit card or something like that, or a piece of a credit card even, just like that. And that's given us a nice little textured area there. I filled in the little bit of black around his eye, and now I'm just going to mark in a couple of whiskers. So we'll just draw a few whiskers in using pencil like that, because we don't want it to be too heavy. So we just put in a few, and we could put in a few more later if we feel we need them. And then of course the hare always has a few coming out of his eyebrows as well, so we'll put some of those in too. And I'm going to keep some of the pencil lines to give some of the indication of the shape of the inside of his ear like that. But apart from that, I don't think we need to do anything now. And I'm going to call that done. So I hope you enjoyed watching me paint that this afternoon, and I hope you decide to give it a go yourself. It's very easy painting once you've done it once or twice, but it might take a little bit of practice to get control. So it's a very good way of practicing water control and paint control and the art of self-restraint, because you don't go in and mess with it, you let the paint do the work for you. So that's always a fascinating process. I mean, these backgrounds here couldn't possibly have been planned, but they've come out quite nice in any case. So there we are then. Don't forget to pop over to the website to have a look at what we've got on there. Don't forget the free downloads of all the sketches, including this one, are all there for you to take home and work with. We've also got products now available, and we're starting to put up a line of mugs which have got one of my paintings on them. The first one to go up is pumpkins, and the next one to go up will be a bumblebee. soon to be followed by a hare, possibly this one. And so take a look at that if you're interested, and also don't forget to support the channel if you possibly can to continue to have these things available by joining the membership of the channel or using the tip jar on the website. So all of those things, plus the Facebook group, of course, where you can chat with other artists, and Instagram, and we're on Pinterest too. So I will let you go now, and thank you again for your wonderful support. Please click like, subscribe, leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I will see you later. My air conditioning is now installed, and we're going to try it out today because we're going to have 30 degrees here. How about that? And here's a little quick goodbye from Arthur the kitten. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.